Hey there, movie buffs! Welcome back to Movie Buff Haven, the place where we break down the wildest, scariest, and most jaw-dropping moments in cinema. Today we're tackling the ultimate nightmare fuel, 5 zombie apocalypses that most of us definitely wouldn't survive. Think you've got what it takes to make it through? Stick around and find out. But before we begin, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you don't miss any of our thrilling movie breakdowns. Now, before we dive into the worst-case scenarios, let's take a quick look at 5 zombie apocalypses you might actually survive. Ready? Let's get into it. 1. Shaun of the Dead, 2004. Imagine waking up one morning, grabbing a coffee, and strolling to the corner shop, only to miss the fact that the world around you has descended into chaos. That's Shaun of the Dead in a nutshell. In reality, this scenario is one of the few apocalypses where your odds are pretty good. Stock up on supplies, find a defensible spot, and stay calm. In this zombie apocalypse, survival isn't about brute strength or elite combat training. It's about staying calm, being resourceful, and occasionally having a laugh. Are the zombies here? Slow, clumsy, lacking any semblance of intelligence. You don't need to be a hero or a mastermind to outwit them. Just outthink them. And let's be honest, that's not hard when they stumble around like they've had one too many at the pub. With the right approach, you might even manage to live long enough to have a cold pint and wait for all this to blow over. Survival odds? High. Just keep calm, have a plan, and remember, no zombie is faster than a steady jog. 2nd, Zombieland 2009. Imagine raiding an abandoned supermarket, dodging zombies in an amusement park, or fighting off hordes with makeshift weapons. Sure, it's dangerous, but it's also an adventure. The key is adaptability. In Zombieland, the zombies are scary, but it's your ability to think on your feet and maybe crack a joke or two that will keep you alive. Zombieland isn't just an apocalypse. It's a deadly playground. The zombies here are fast, ferocious, and relentless. But guess what? Surviving in Zombieland is all about following the rules. And trust me, these rules are your ultimate survival guide. This world is chaotic, filled with fast and aggressive zombies, but it's also hilariously survivable. Why? Because Zombieland gives you a cheat sheet. Cardio, essential for outrunning the undead. Double tap, never assume one bullet is enough. And rule number 32, enjoy the little things because you need some laughs to keep the fear at bay. What makes this scenario survivable is that the zombies, while fast, aren't unstoppable. They can be outmaneuvered, outsmarted, and taken down with some effort. Plus, the characters prove that staying adaptable, resourceful, and well, a little quirky is your best bet. 3. The Girl with All the Gifts, 2016. In most zombie apocalypses, survival depends on staying as far away from the undead as possible. But what if the key to survival lies in understanding them, or even working with them? Welcome to The Girl with All the Gifts, where the apocalypse isn't just terrifying, it's thought-provoking. This movie introduces us to a world devastated by a fungal infection that turns people into ravenous hungries. They're fast, vicious, and entirely consumed by their primal instincts. So why would anyone want to get close to them? Enter Melanie, a child born with the infection, but still retaining her human intelligence. She's both a threat and humanity's potential salvation. If you can think ahead, work with those you might fear, and embrace the idea that humanity's savior may not look the way you expect, you might just have a chance. The Girl with All the Gifts proves that survival is about more than just staying alive. It's about evolving. Survival odds? Moderate, but only if you can think outside the box and adapt to a new normal. The infected are fast and lethal, but their fungal instincts can be outsmarted if you're careful. 4. Warm Bodies, 2013. Not all zombie apocalypses are hopeless. In Warm Bodies, the undead still have a spark of humanity, and maybe, just maybe, a chance for redemption. The zombies in this world are far from your traditional brain-eating monsters. Sure, they shuffle around and look terrifying, but underneath all that decay, there's a glimmer of humanity. And here's the catch. They can heal. That's right. These zombies have the potential to come back if they're given enough hope or connection. For survivors, this means the apocalypse isn't as bleak as it seems. Avoid provoking the undead, and you might just live to tell the tale. Warm Bodies introduces an element of optimism, which is rare in zombie lore. The survivors here don't just fight to stay alive, they fight to restore humanity. And if you're a people person with good instincts, you've got a shot at making it through. So while Warm Bodies offers its fair share of danger, it's also a world where survival isn't just possible, it's meaningful. Survival odds? Moderate to high, especially if you focus on staying hopeful. 5. The Walking Dead, 2010 to 2022. In The Walking Dead, the zombies aren't the biggest threat. It's the people who'll get you killed. These zombies are classic, slow, predictable, and easy to handle one-on-one. But don't get too comfortable. What makes The Walking Dead's apocalypse challenging is the long-term game. Supplies run out, people grow desperate, and rival factions can be deadlier than any walker. The secret to surviving this apocalypse? Build a community. The characters who last the longest are the ones who band together, pool resources, and create fortified settlements. But watch out. Trusting the wrong people can be a fatal mistake. If you're a natural leader or a team player, you've got a good shot at making it in The Walking Dead's world. Just stay cautious, choose your allies wisely, and remember, the dead are dangerous, but the living are unpredictable. Survival odds, moderate. Now let's take a darker turn. These are the 5 zombie apocalypses most people won't survive, starting with number 1, WorldWarZ, 2013. The zombies in this apocalypse are unlike anything you've encountered before. They're not just fast, they're a relentless force of nature. Individually, they're terrifying enough, but together, they form massive towering hordes capable of climbing over each other to breach walls, crash through barriers, and chase you down. Their infection spreads with brutal efficiency. One bite, and in just 12 seconds, you're one of them. There's no time to process, no time to strategize, just a desperate attempt to outrun something that feels utterly unstoppable. In WorldWarZ, survival isn't just about being smart. It's about being incredibly lucky. You'd need to find an isolated area, completely cut off from major population centers, and even then, you're not guaranteed safety. The zombies don't stop for anything. They'll smash through glass, climb walls, and swarm over each other like ants. Your odds of survival? Slim to none, unless you've got access to a fortified military base or manage to get to somewhere remote, like a small island. You're as good as gone. WorldWarZ doesn't just show the end of the world, it shows the end of hope. 2. Train to Busan, 2016. The zombies in Train to Busan are terrifyingly fast, relentless, and highly contagious. Once the infection begins to spread, there's no stopping it. They charge with a ferocity that leaves no room for hesitation. But what makes this apocalypse even worse? The confined spaces. You're trapped on a moving train with nowhere to go. Each car becomes a battleground. You can't fight them all. There's too many. You can't run far. The train only has so much room. And outside the train, it's not much better. Cities are overrun, safe zones don't exist, and every decision feels like a gamble. What sets Train to Busan apart is its emotional weight. Survival isn't just about outrunning the zombies, it's about protecting the people you love. The characters are faced with impossible choices. Sacrifice themselves or abandon others to survive. Your survival odds? Slim at best. Unless you're lucky enough to start in a train car far from the initial outbreak and have the courage to keep fighting, you might not make it to the next station alive. 3. 28 days later, 2002. Wake up to a world that's fallen apart. In 28 days later, the zombies aren't the slow, shambling type. They're rage-fueled predators, sprinting toward you with terrifying speed and aggression. Here's the bad news. The infected in this movie aren't technically zombies. They're humans consumed by a rage-inducing virus. But let's be real, they might as well be zombies with how dangerous they are. Once the infection starts, it spreads like wildfire, and the infected become fast, violent, and utterly unrelenting. In 28 days later, survival means constantly staying on the move. These creatures don't give up, they don't tire, and they don't hesitate. One moment of weakness and you're done. The virus spreads so quickly that major cities fall in days. Supplies run out, safe zones collapse, and the survivors are left to fend for themselves in a world that feels completely unforgiving. Your only chance, isolation. But even then, food and water eventually run out, forcing you to make desperate decisions. Survival odds? Very low unless you're highly resourceful, incredibly lucky, and willing to fight for every moment. 28 days later doesn't offer hope. It offers survival for the strongest and fastest. 4. Resident Evil. What's worse than a zombie apocalypse? A zombie apocalypse created by a high-tech corporation that doesn't care who gets caught in the crossfire. Welcome to Resident Evil, where zombies are just the beginning. In this world, you're not just dealing with standard zombies. The T-virus turns people into ravenous, flesh-eating monsters. But that's not the worst part. The real nightmare? Bioengineered creatures like the Lickers, giant mutated monsters, and the relentless nemesis. The Umbrella Corporation has turned the world into a testing ground for bioweapons, and you're stuck in the middle of it. Every corner could hide a new horror, and every step forward feels like a step deeper into the nightmare. Even if you manage to survive the zombies, you're still up against a corporation with unlimited resources and no morals. Survival here isn't just about luck. It's about skill, weapons, and the ability to adapt to horrors you've never imagined. Your survival odds? Low. Unless you're Alice, or a genetically enhanced super soldier, you're not making it out of this one alive. 5. Army of the Dead, 2021. In Army of the Dead, the rules of the apocalypse are rewritten. The zombies here are smarter, faster, and more organized. Oh, and did I mention the zombie tiger? This isn't your average zombie apocalypse. The zombies in Army of the Dead are led by intelligent alphas, zombies capable of strategy, communication, and commanding hordes. They don't just charge blindly. They think, they plan, and they hunt. Surviving in this world requires more than just weapons. You need a fortified location, military-grade tactics, and nerves of steel. The alphas are relentless, and their ability to organize makes them more dangerous than any horde you've seen before. And then there's the tiger. Yes, a zombie tiger. If the alphas don't get you, the wildlife will. Your survival odds? Almost zero. Unless you've got a well-armed team and a perfect plan, you're not making it out of Army of the Dead alive. And that wraps up our deep dive into the 5 zombie apocalypses most people won't survive. Which of these terrifying scenarios do you think you could outlast, or would you even want to try? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more thrilling recaps, and hit the bell icon so you never miss our next upload.